Hello, my name is Jeannie, and today I'm going to demonstrate how to make chicken marley. Chicken marley is one of my kids' favorite dishes. So first of all, you're going to take boneless, skinless chicken breasts, and you want it to be this thin inside. So sometimes if you buy the bigger chicken breast, you might have to take your knife and actually cut it in half. So first of all, you're going to start with your boneless, skinless chicken breast. As you can see, this one is a little bit thick. So you want to take a knife and just go right through it because you really want nice thin pieces of chicken. You're just going to cut it right through, real easy. And you're going to take your chicken, and I use a plate. Now, some people use a pounder, but I use a plate. And I just pound the chicken. This gives it a nice tender consistency. So I'm just going to do a few pieces here to show you how I make it. And after that step, you're going to take an egg and you're just going to crack your egg. We're going to make an egg wash. This just coats the chicken to put into the next two steps. Just beat your egg. And we're not going to use milk because we really don't want it eggy. You want it nice and thin, but the consistency of the egg helps hold the other piece. And just put a little bit of water in just to make a nice little egg wash. There you go, just beat it up real nice. Chicken's gonna get dipped in this first. And then your next step is breadcrumbs. And again, don't put too many breadcrumbs in because it gets really clumpy and then you can't coat your chicken. And you're also going to use Romano cheese. That's the third step before frying. Now, one little tip here is you don't want to put too much in your dishes because it ends up getting clumpy and then you have to throw it away and you waste it. So little at a time. And same thing with the egg because you're just not really sure how much you're going to need. So, you know, depending on how many pieces of chicken you're going to do, you just have to kind of see. Then we're going to take our chicken. We're going to coat it in our egg wash. Nice. Coat it all the way through. But you want to kind of make sure you don't want little eggy pieces. You just want to coat it. Then we're going to coat it in the breadcrumbs. Coat it all the way around. Have a nice coating. That egg wash will keep it on the breadcrumbs on. And the next step is your Romano cheese. And again, just coat it nice. And this makes it such a tender piece of chicken after it's been fried and baked. One nice tip is after you fry this, because you're only going to fry it a little bit. You're not going to completely cook it because it's going to go in the oven with a little roux that I'm going to show you how to make at the very end. And if you would like to make it for a party, you can make it the day before, cover it, don't bake it. And then the next day bring it out, let it come to room temperature, put it in your oven. It's going to take probably about 20 to 25 minutes in the oven on 325 because you don't want to really overcook it and get it crispy. You want it to be nice and tender. So I like a 325 oven and cook it for about 25 minutes to 30 minutes until completely done covered. So after you've coated your chicken, you're going to come over to your frying pan and you're going to add some buttered flavored Crisco to your frying pan. This makes it a nice golden color, and you're going to put a little bit of olive oil in and let that just get all ready. Make the not too hot, but you do want to fry it because you want to make it crispy. And then you add your pieces of chicken and you see them nice starting to sizzle. And all we're going to do with this chicken is brown it. Maybe 3 minutes on each side, because again, we're not cooking the chicken. The chicken's going to be baked in the oven on a low heat of 325, and we're just actually making it a nice crispy golden. After we fry this, we're going to use the drippings that are left in here. So you kind of want to be generous in frying, and we're going to add a little wine to it because that cuts down on the butter taste, so it's not so, you know, greasy, I guess. It'll take a little bit out, and you're gonna just let the little pieces. So if you're frying about, you know, 10 to 15 pieces, you get some nice little crispy pieces in there, and then you just use the wine and you just make like a little sauce and you pour it over. And then we're gonna cover it and put it in the oven at 325 for about 25 minutes. But you really want to watch it because, again, you don't want to overcook it because these are very thin pieces and you could overcook them. And then it just kind of defeats the purpose of that nice tender piece of chicken. When you're ready to flip it, it should look a lot like this. A nice golden brown, crispy edges to them. Again, not burnt. You don't want to burn it, but you want a nice crispy texture to it. So now both sides of your chicken are nice and golden brown, and you're going to take it and place it in little Pyrex. Actually, you can use foil sheets if you're having it for a party or taking it somewhere. And you're going to place it in your Pyrex dish. And then you're just going to take just a little bit more of the Crisco. And you see how those little crispies are in there, and that after you fry it about 10 or 12 pieces, you get a lot of nice little crispies in there. And then you just kind of swish this around, because this is going to be like your little glaze that bakes in the oven with the chicken, which keeps it nice and tender and not to get dried out. Then you're going to take any kind of kitchen or cheap white wine that you want. Now you can omit this if you don't want to, but it really doesn't give much of a taste. And you're just going to put in just a little bit of white wine. And just do a nice little sauteing of that. That white wine really helps in the tenderizing of the chicken. And just make a nice little sauce. And we are now going to pour over the chicken. Take that little sauce and you're just going to pour it over your chicken. Because this is going to make it so tender and has a nice little glaze to it. Look how pretty that looks. Isn't that nice? So now after you finish frying and putting your drippings over the top of the chicken, you're going to place a piece of foil over the chicken, completely covering it. And then you're going to place it in your oven, 325 degrees, for about 20 minutes. Again, we're just heating it through. You don't want to overcook it. And that's how you make chicken Marley. This is, again, like I said, one of my children's favorite dishes. Hope you'll enjoy it. And if you like the recipe, check out my website. See you next time.